What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Jake Ferb Finance. I am Jake Ferb. Today I'm going to be giving you the rundown on why you need a great credit score, how to get a great credit score, and how to keep your score up in those high ranges. This is some stuff that they never taught you in school. I'm going to be breaking down the percentages, showing you what goes into building the perfect credit score. If that sounds interesting, let's get right into it. Also, guys, a quick plug. If you don't know your credit score, but you know that you do have a couple of credit cards, great resource to check out is Credit Karma. It's completely free. You can find out all your credit scores right there in one place. Now onto the video. Now, the reason why it's so important to start building your credit score, ideally the day that you turn 18, but if not, as soon as possible, is because when you grow up and when you get older, you're going to want to have a great credit score so that you can get the lowest interest rates on private loans, like if you want to start a business, auto loans, or if you're going to take out a mortgage on a house that you want to buy. So ideally, you want to be over a 760, and these banks are going to be bending over backwards trying to get you these loans. 740, you're probably going to get the best interest rates on loans, and you're going to get the good deals. 720 is all right, but anything under that, you're maybe not going to struggle to get the loan, but you are going to get screwed over and pay a lot more in interest than you would if you had a great credit score. Okay, guys, so the most important facet of what goes into building your credit score is your payment history. It's 35% of your overall credit score. This is how many payments that you've completed on time, at least the minimum payment, if not the full balance, over all of the total payments that you've ever had to make on a credit card. Let's look at an example. So guys, if you've just gotten your first credit card and you've kept it for 1 year, because on average the person will get their second credit card maybe 6 months to 12 months after their first credit card. Personally, I got mine 2 months after my first credit card, but that's not typical. So let's say you've had to make 12 monthly payments on your credit card and you've only made 11 of those on time. Doesn't sound too bad on paper, but according to Credit Karma, you want at least 98 to 99% of your payments to be on time. Ideally 100%. You should never miss a payment because all you have to do really is make the minimum payment. So you can set up automatic payments on that and make sure you never miss a payment, or that's going to impact your score very negatively. Now guys, the second thing that we need to talk about, and the second facet of your overall credit score, is going to be your credit utilization. This is the amount of your total credit line or credit limit that you are using on a monthly basis that is showing up on your credit report when the statement closes and it gets reported to the credit bureaus. Let's look at another example. So if you have a $1,000 credit limit on your first credit card and you use $500 of that credit limit and the statement closes and you have a $500 balance that you need to pay off, that is going to be 50% credit utilization, just basic 500 over 1,000. If you get a second credit card with another $1,000 limit, then you'll have $2,000 on the denominator. That's your total credit line. And if you again only close with your statement balance of $500 on one of those credit cards and 0 on the other one, then you'll only have 25% credit utilization. A good idea and a good metric to keep it around is 30% or less. You want 30% or less to be your total credit utilization, and ideally, according to Credit Karma, under 10%. Now guys, a cool trick that I found, or that other people have found that I've copied, is that you can pay down your balance on most credit cards before the statement closes. So let's say that you know that your statement is going to close on the 8th of a month, then you can pay your entire balance down on the 4th, and then once the payment goes through, it'll look like you only have, $1 or $2 or $5 or $10 left on your balance, and then that's what gets reported to the credit bureau. And if you have a $10 balance on a $1,000 credit line, that's only 1% utilization, and that is great for your score. Now guys, the next highest aspect of your credit score is going to be the length of your credit history. That's how long you've opened your cards for. And unfortunately for new people and new credit card getters and users, there's not really much you can do about this except wait. Now this is only 15% of your score, which doesn't sound like too much, but it can be a substantial impact. Now another bad kind of part about this is that if you open a credit card and you have this credit card for 2 years and then you decide to open another one, the average length of your credit history is only going to be 1 year. So your credit score will actually take kind of a hit for this because it was 2 years and then you opened up that new credit card and now the average is 1 year, and that's what gets reported to the credit bureau. Up next, at 10% of your total credit score is going to be made up of your total accounts that you have. Now this doesn't just have to be credit cards, this can also be other forms of debt like auto loans or mortgages, so not just credit cards. And unfortunately, if you're 18, 19, 20, you're probably not going to have a lot of auto loans or mortgages that are reported under your name in the bank. And It's also not really recommended that you just apply for all these bunch of credit cards, and I'll get into that at our next point, but you're going to kind of have to wait to build this as well, because it's on average you're supposed to wait about 4 to 6 months, 4 to 8 months maybe, to get each new credit card. And if you're kind of interested in the credit card game and you understand it more, then you could potentially get them faster, but it's not exactly advised to open up a new credit card every single month or apply for more credit cards like every 2 weeks. So building these accounts out slowly is going to be something that comes over time, and it's not really something that can be rushed too much. Now guys, the last little bit that goes into your credit score is something called hard inquiries. It's the final 10%. A hard inquiry, or hard pull as you'll hear it, is when a credit bureau or a creditor pulls your credit from the credit bureaus, and they figure out your score and they find out some of your information and stuff like that. And every single time that you apply for a credit card, you will get a hard inquiry on your account. And a hard inquiry will affect your credit score in the short term. It lasts about 6 months and then it goes away and your credit score comes back. But it will typically affect your credit score by between about 3 and 7 points per inquiry. So if you apply for 5 credit cards someday because you get really interested in it, and you're laying in bed at night and you're like, all right, I'm going to apply for these 5 different credit cards, your credit score is going to get hit on it about 15 to maybe even up to 35 points. So guys, if you're looking to get on the path to having a great credit score, you're going to want to get your first credit card ASAP if you don't have it already. Make sure you make the payments on time every single time. You do not want to miss a payment, or that is going to hurt your score for a long time coming. You're also going to not want to take out a bunch of hard inquiries, so probably apply and try to get a new credit card every 4 to 6 to 8 months. Probably about every 6 months. Make sure that you keep your utilization low and you're paying down your balance before the statement closes so that it stays ideally under 10% of your total credit line. Finally, you're going to want to make sure that you are building up your accounts and your length of your credit history over time, but that's stuff that you can't really control too much now, but your credit score is going to be fine, and by the time you grow up, it's going to be great if you follow these steps. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.